Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and click on all so you can be up to date with my channel. The first book of Chronicles, chapter 20, verses 1 to 8, and 8. The first book of Chronicles, chapter 21, verses 1 to 30. 1. At the time of the return of the year, at the time when kings go out, Joab led out the army and wasted the country of the children of Ammon, and came and besieged Rabbah. But David stayed at Jerusalem. Joab struck Rabbah and overthrew it. 2. David took the crown of their king from off his head, and found it to weigh a talent of gold, and there were precious stones in it. It was set on David's head, and he brought very much plunder out of the city. 3. He brought out the people who were in it, and had them cut with saws, with iron picks, and with axes. David did so to all the cities of the children of Ammon. Then David and all the people returned to Jerusalem. 4. After this, war arose at Gezer with the Philistines. Then Sibbecai the Hushathite killed Sippai of the sons of the giant, and they were subdued. 5. Again there was war with the Philistines. And Elhanan the son of Jair killed Lahmi the brother of Goliath the Gittite, the staff of whose spear was like a weaver's beam. 6. There was again war at Gath, where there was a man of great stature, who had 24 fingers and toes, 6 on each hand and 6 on each foot. And he also was born to the giant. 7. When he defied Israel, Jonathan the son of Shemiah, David's brother, killed him. 8. These were born to the giant in Gath, and they fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants. The first book of Chronicles, chapter 21, verses 1 to 30. 1. Satan stood up against Israel, and moved David to take a census of Israel. 2. David said to Joab and to the princes of the people, Go, count Israel from Beersheba even to Dan, and bring me word, that I may know how many there are. 3. Joab said, May the Lord make his people 100 times as many as they are. But my lord the king, aren't they all my lord's servants? Why does my lord require this thing? Why will he be a cause of guilt to Israel? 4. Nevertheless, the king's word prevailed against Joab. Therefore Joab departed and went throughout all Israel, then came to Jerusalem. 5. Joab gave the sum of the census of the people to David. All those of Israel were 1,100,000 men who drew a sword. And in Judah were 470,000 men who drew a sword. 6. But he didn't count Levi and Benjamin among them, for the king's word was abominable to Joab. 7. God was displeased with this thing. Therefore he struck Israel. 8. David said to God, I have sinned greatly, in that I have done this thing. But now put away, I beg you, the iniquity of your servant, for I have done very foolishly. 9. The Lord spoke to Gad, David's seer, saying, 10. Go and speak to David, saying, The Lord says, I offer you 3 things. Choose one of them, that I may do it to you. 11. So Gad came to David and said to him, The Lord says, Take your choice. 12. Either 3 years of famine, or 3 months to be consumed before your foes, or the sword of your enemies overtakes you, or else 3 days of the sword of the Lord, even pestilence in the land, and the Lord's angel destroying throughout all the borders of Israel. Now therefore, consider what answer I shall return to him who sent me. 13. David said to Gad, I am in distress. Let me fall, I pray, into the Lord's hand, for his mercies are very great. Don't let me fall into man's hand. 14. So the Lord sent a pestilence on Israel, and 70,000 men of Israel fell. 15. God sent an angel to Jerusalem to destroy it. As he was about to destroy, the Lord saw, and he relented of the disaster, and said to the destroying angel, It is enough. Now withdraw your hand. The Lord's angel was standing by the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. 16. David lifted up his eyes, and saw the Lord's angel standing between earth and the sky, having a drawn sword in his hand, stretched out over Jerusalem. Then David and the elders, clothed in sackcloth, fell on their faces. 17 David said to God, "Isn't it I who commanded the people to be counted? It is even I who have sinned and done very wickedly. But these sheep, what have they done? Please let your hand, O Lord my God, be against me and against my father's house, but not against your people, that they should be plagued." 18 Then the Lord's angel commanded Gad to tell David that David should go up and raise an altar to the Lord on the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite. 19 David went up at the saying of Gad, which he spoke in the Lord's name. 20 Ornan turned back and saw the angel, and his 4 sons who were with him hid themselves. Now Ornan was threshing wheat. 21 As David came to Ornan, Ornan looked and saw David, and went out of the threshing floor, and bowed himself to David with his face to the ground. 22 Then David said to Ornan, "Sell me the place of this threshing floor, that I may build an altar to the Lord on it. You shall sell it to me for the full price, that the plague may be stopped from afflicting the people." 23 Ornan said to David, "Take it for yourself, and let my lord the king do that which is good in his eyes. Behold, I give the oxen for burnt offerings, and the threshing instruments for wood, and the wheat for the meal offering. I give it all." 24 King David said to Ornan, "No, but I will most certainly buy it for the full price. For I will not take that which is yours for the Lord, nor offer a burnt offering that costs me nothing." 25 So David gave to Ornan 600 shekels of gold by weight for the place. 26 David built an altar to the Lord there, and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings, and called on the Lord. And he answered him from the sky by fire on the altar of burnt offering. 27 Then the Lord commanded the angel, and he put his sword back into its sheath. 28 At that time, when David saw that the Lord had answered him in the threshing floor of Ornan the Jebusite, then he sacrificed there. 29 For the Lord's tabernacle, which Moses made in the wilderness, and the altar of burnt offering, were at that time in the high place at Gibeon. 30 But David couldn't go before it to inquire of God, for he was afraid because of the sword of the Lord's angel. Thank you so much for joining me, watching and learning about the first book of Chronicles, chapter 20 verses 1 to 8, and the first book of Chronicles, chapter 21 verses 1 to 30. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more great up and coming pet facts, Bible study, music, and bedtime stories. Good night and sweet dreams until next time.